Yesterday, we talked about this James Wick dude who essentially, in my opinion, scammed a bunch of VTubers for tens of thousands of dollars. If you add up the amounts of all the VTubers payments he took, we could be looking at into the six figures even. Essentially, if you missed the prior segment, and if you did, please consider checking it out because I'm not going to recap the whole thing here, and I'll have it linked in the description. However, like I was saying, essentially he was supposed to get done animations for things like lore videos. He took these payments, and apparently a number of the animators didn't even get paid, and these jobs never really got done. But he still took the payments, and now this is all becoming public, and he's trying to save face. He deleted his Twitter account, but he's still running a business Twitter account. That business is called, one moment, Studio Cell. And 10 hours ago, he released a statement trying to explain his side of things, and it really does not look good for him at all. It's a pretty pathetic statement, in my opinion. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So here we are, Studio Cell, in a tweet with over 740 quote tweets versus a mere 165 likes and over 2 million views. He says there will be two parts to this statement, tonight and tomorrow, to address every statementer I've seen come out of this mess. Gotta love the typo and statement for his response to very serious stuff. So the document goes on for 35 pages. And as early as page 4, he starts dropping a bunch of Discord logs, and this just continues throughout the entire document. I'm not showing you what these logs say because I don't personally feel appropriate reading this stuff. Like, there's a bunch of DMs from like him and Bao, for example, which is on the screen right now. It's just, I'm not showing it. It's cut off. I'm zoomed in a lot. Because like, I'm not here trying to read Bao's DMs. Like, bro, give her money back. And whenever you have like Discord logs come out in a situation, you're always going to be missing some context. To be quite frank, anything involving Discord is one of my least favorite things to cover because technically speaking, to get all the context, you would need the entire Discord chat log. And that could be so much stuff to go through. It's pretty just unreasonable. Yeah, so I really don't like going over Discord things. And regarding the Discord chat logs, as Bao herself said, let's take a look at her response. She says, "It is insane reading and knowing the amount of omitted information, blatant lies, and victim mentality it took to write all of this instead of paying any of us back. I think the best part of my section is how he screenshotted 1/100th of our DMs and omitted how I routinely had to beg for my money to get any sort of response/proof while dealing with verbal abuse and tantrums. Not to mention all of the failed wire transfers and frozen tracking links." In the replies, Bao would even say his lawyer has never once answered us or reached out to us. Probably left because he wasn't paid either. She would also say he literally just leaked my song. Riku saying, "I'm so sorry, Bao." And Bao then saying, "I'm in a living nightmare right now, but at least I have my community by my side." Giga responding too, saying that she's so tired. Bao saying this is torturous and traumatizing and I'll never wish this upon anybody. Ryu saying, "I didn't think it could get worse. How is refunding so difficult for this person?" And Bao saying he has most likely burned through all his money without making a profit. Now in his response, he also tries to pretty much play victim due to mental health issues. And that's a pretty gross thing to do. Look, I don't like talking about this stuff. It makes me uncomfortable. But I think everyone will pretty much go through mental health issues at some point in their life if they haven't already. And it's not an excuse to do the things this guy did. It's just not. I'm not heartless. I can understand how it could negatively impact your work, and I've been there myself. I don't want to get into this, but as some of you know, in 2020 and 2021, I was going through some of the worst stuff you can go through regarding family health issues and losing people that you love. And it definitely impacted my work negatively in many ways, and I'm grateful that people can understand that. And again, I'm sorry, this makes me really uncomfortable to talk about, but like, point is, it doesn't justify taking a bunch of money, mismanaging everything, and just doing like the wrong thing every single time. What it would justify, again, I'm not heartless. I can understand like some of this stuff. It would justify like making things extended, asking for an extension on the deadlines and things like that. But this entire situation going down this badly, there's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. Let's read some more of their responses. This one from Giga. She says, "I don't want to put more on my timeline, so I'll just say it here. He has never mentioned a refund to me directly. He has tried to contact me more recently, and every time I told him when I was available for a meeting, he did not ping me or call me at the times asked to. He makes my project sound like a few little stream alerts here, but the ideas on the table were much more involved. Several short animations for use on stream that were meant to be full studio quality aligned with the refs we sent back and forth, things that would require a whole team. He spent more time talking to me about other people or various ideas than he did putting effort into my project. Sent more messages to me about my poor health/surgery when that time was supposed to be crunch time for the animators. Only ever saw one work in process of a rough cut. So this dude gets paid to do all these jobs, then DMs the girls a bunch of things that are unrelated to the work, while he's really just taking their money and acting like he's concerned about them. Yeah, I'll let you guys fill in the blank with what you want to call that. Captain Hannah also responding to his statement saying, all this effort in typing all this when you could have spent this time cashing out that money you still owe. This entire document is a grade A example of what he did to get around his crimes. Just talking and talking, trying to snake his way around responsibility, never taking accountability. Bao's like, I can't tell which of there was more, lies or spelling errors. Captain Hannah's like, I thought I was going crazy. He lives in a completely different reality than everyone else, clearly. We also got Nemu coming out with this statement saying, okay, so it's 3 a.m. and I've got a fever, so I'm going to keep this super short. Trademark. Basically, I commissioned them for an animation for the reveal of the witch outfit. Things went great at the start. The boards and the early meetings were good and on time and all that. It seemed pretty okay. Then it was basically no info about the actual animation. And the day of their debut, fast approached, and I got nothing from them, no actual evidence that anything was being done besides some super sketch stuff. The phrasing there makes me really curious to see what Nemu was sent. The debut approached, and a few days before he said, "Aw, dang, looks like we won't be able to make it." Oh my gosh. More or less, and gave me a gif of basically the sketch progress and a few keyframes, not even colored or anything to show chat and say, there's something coming, I promise. No, there was nothing. Anyway, afterwards, he was like, well, we will just turn it into a lore video, and we'll put some of the studio's money into a compensate the extra time, etc. So I worked with him on a storyboard, and then I heard absolutely nothing about it ever again, basically. Also, yeah, James never contacted me offering a refund or anything. Just radio silence the moment things started to get a little spicy. Yeah, I'd love my money back. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, right. So after all that time and money, this was the entirety of what I saw from the project. You can take a look at that right there. And she was also sent these two stills. It's too bad because, like, the character's cute. Hopefully she can get the animations done from someone else, but man, what a mess to go through. And then all the money lost and all that. I'll show these DMs because Shizuko is literally laughing at this. So she says, this guy felt the need to mention that scammers are around in the animation community. The irony is so hilarious. I'm sorry. So we got James Wick here on Discord saying, hey Shizu, got a quick question if you have time. Just kind of gathering some info on the situation with art, animations, etc. you VTubers have access to, like if you're super busy. Shizu, hi, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused with the question. I guess it's whoever replies to us. I usually use Twitter since Skeb is quite unreliable, but again, it just depends who replies versus who doesn't. James says, sorry, just waking up. Had to pick the CEO up from the airport. Hella late, and he gave me a new task immediately, lol. Oh my gosh, bro. So we are hearing from people we work with like Giri, Girl DM, Teru, that commission animations, art, etc. is extremely difficult among VTubers with lots of scams. People that ghost or just have super full schedules. I was wondering if you also had experienced stuff similar or what? Or if getting stuff has been pretty easy. Yeah, it was weird hearing this guy talk about that, like, with all the stuff that's come out. Seriously, what the heck? It's almost like he was kind of trying to like, take notes from the other scammers. He's like, hey, y'all heard of scammers in the VTuber community? Oh, that's awful. Tell me all about it. Hopping over to Sare, we took a look at her statement from yesterday, and she also just added this hours ago, saying, I checked my PayPal account again, and to clarify, $3,800 was the last payment he asked for me. However, I refused and canceled it since we already had sufficient funds to pay my team. I'm unsure why he needed more money when he had enough. Yeah, I wonder why. Furthermore, I still haven't received my refund. He still owes me $13,000. Additionally, the current amount of money I've spent is $32,250. The reason for this is that I've already paid the artist/animators so they can cover their expenses since they couldn't count on James to do it. Once I receive the $13,000, the total amount reflected in my PayPal screenshot will be $19,250. Yesterday, we also talked about Vienna's statement. Here's her response to the new statement from Studio Cell and all that. She says, he mentioned me here as if he did no wrongdoing. His actions directly led to everyone on the team to exit my project and the studio. He doesn't realize that it's not just squared away because I got refunded like everyone should be. I had to spend more than triple the amount to get new assets to replace them in the tiny amount of time before my deadline and still did not make the cut. It is impossible to replace a project like that with just a month's time. I was literally just lucky that one of the animators that knew what happened felt pity for me and put together a team that could do it. Even in your best case scenario, you screwed me over royally, cost me triple the amount, and gave me an aneurysm right before my debut. Adding to Studio Cell James, I hope that you can try to make this right with the others. Everyone makes mistakes. It's not the end of the world. It's a terrible situation. Don't take more money from creatives. Don't hurt anyone else. I hope for a positive resolution for everyone. And that starts with accountability. Something this guy probably doesn't have. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be accountable for this. I don't think the money's even there anymore, personally. I also don't know if this is really just mistakes or if it's actually, a con that he was running. It just seems like he kept taking money from people. Then he wasn't using that money for the business operations. He was using it for like personal stuff, whatever that was. So the jobs weren't getting done. And then he kept over promising, and then taking more money from people. And then using that money for whatever the heck he kept spending it on that wasn't the actual business operations. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude had some stupid idea to like take money from people and then try and flip it on like leveraged crypto or something and come up on like a 4 times of what he got from the money. And then he would take like, the profits and pocket it and then use the money he was given on the actual business operations or refund it. But he probably lost it all. And now there's just no money to give anyone and no money to get the jobs done. But I just made that potential theory up in my mind. I'm not saying that actually happened, but I could definitely see like something like that happening. Point is, whatever the case may be, it does look like this dude was using the money for personal things and not putting it back into the business to get the operations done. And now we're here. Or I'm wrong, and this guy actually does have all the money and he's gonna refund it, but he's just handling it in a really unprofessional, weird way. But I don't find that too likely. I think this guy's a piece of work, and yeah, I'll leave it there. What a mess. I feel for those VTubers, man. If you want to support them, you know who they are. And their ads will be in the description as well. So I hope it works out for them. And thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you in the comments and tomorrow for the next segment.